Okay, let's do this. Let's test it out. Let's see if this will work. Can AI build an app with no code? That is the question. Can AI build an app with no code and just the English language? That's what I'm attempting to do right here. And I'm really glad that you're here and joining me for this live stream, because we're going to kind of go step by step and see exactly what I can get achieved during this live stream. So if you've got any questions, do feel free to post them in the comments. Also, I'll put links below in the description. So if you want to go and test out the app I'm working on, I'm looking for beta testers at the moment. So that would be absolutely fantastic, absolutely brilliant, in order to get more people using the app that I'm essentially creating with 100% AI tools using no code, or maybe to be specific, I should say low code, because you still, as a few people have fed back on the video I put out the other day, you still need a little bit of knowledge on how these things glue together to get them working properly. And I'm really hoping actually that this video will help you to understand a little bit more about my process and the tools I'm using. So the app is called Genie, and you can go and you can beta test it right now. I've got it running on my local machine here because I'm developing locally before I push it out to my my host that is hosting the app. So without further ado, let's get into this. And a little bit of a background. If you have not watched the video on my channel from the other day, I put out this lengthy video about 14-15 minutes long. And essentially, I was speaking about how I'm developing this app using no code and only AI. Now, it does help if you know things like how to build an architecture, like how do you build a front end of an app? How do you build a back end? How do you put the database together? And once that's out there and you start getting beta testers, people get in touch and they say, well, the app would be great if it had this. And what about this? And when I do this, this thing doesn't work. So even though AI can build an app very quickly for you, like I said in my video from the other day, and I highly recommend you throw a like on this video, by the way, and share it out because some people might enjoy watching it. But it's interesting because I got a lot of feedback and people said I would like to know more about how this all works and how you can do it. So I thought I would do a live stream for you and just share with you a little bit of my process. So we're going to stay mainly in this view where you can see my screen all the time. I got a dual screen in front of me, and yeah, I can sort of code away with the help of AI and do multiple things at the same time. Oh, by the way, just a quick shout out. I wanted to do a quick shout out to YouTube. This is a fantastic coffee that I'm drinking right now. This live stream is caffeine powered, and I'm super thrilled to actually give a shout out to YouTube, who are sort of caffeine powering my AI development today, because they sent me a high five. I got this high five email in my inbox last night. And they said, high five. And look at this. Up top, Mike Russell, it's been 5,329 days since you uploaded your first video. And that's crazy to think about it. That's actually makes me feel rather old. And then they sent me some treats, and one of them was a Costa coffee. So thank you, YouTube. I am very much drinking my Costa coffee for this live stream. So the live stream on YouTube is powered by YouTube, thanks to this Costa coffee. By the way, I should say this live stream is not sponsored by Costa Coffee, nor is it sponsored by YouTube, nor, and this is very interesting and very, I think, significant to put up front, nor are any of the tools or any of the processes I'm going to use sponsored. Okay, I am not sponsored. This video is not sponsored. I do not have any partnerships or relationships with actually any of the tools I'm going to use. And if there is any kind of a relationship going on, I'll always mention it on any video I put out, by the way. So far, since starting this channel earlier on this year, I've not done a single paid placement on this channel, and I'm happy about that because this is a fun project. This is a passion project for me, and I want to see, you know, how far I can push things and push the boat with AI. We're all learning a lot as we go. But anyway, without further ado, just wanted to let you know that none of the tools I'm showing you are paid, and actually, frankly, pretty much all of them don't have affiliate programs. So I'm not benefiting financially at all from this. I just want to share the knowledge and essentially show you a bit more of my workflow. So Genie, it is an app where you log in and it it can help you respond to your YouTube comments. Now, I'm just going to pull this off the screen while I go and log in, because obviously it shows a few little credentials. So I'll log into my account. And if you do want a beta test, there is a link in the description to beta test. I have to approve your email at the moment for you to be able to use this app. Because of Google's rules, I haven't submitted the app yet for the approval process with Google. And until I do, I can only accept a limited amount of beta testers. And you'll also, by the way, if you do sign up to be a beta tester, you'll get this screen. I've had a couple of people get scared where they say, Google hasn't verified this app. What are you doing? That's because I'm very much in a lean startup MVP phase, and I haven't gone through the process. It's quite a detailed process I need to do with Google. So anyway, I'm just signing in, and okay, it's just signing me in, and oh, look at that, internal server error. That's always good. We are going to troubleshoot these problems. So first of all, I know why I'm getting an internal server error. If I go over to Cursor, well, let me show you how this all connects, first of all, before I get into Cursor and playing with code and figuring out why my app is not working on my local machine. Let me tell you step by step what I'm using, because like I said, I did a very quick video and I want to go into the nuance here. So Replit is the first tool over here that I'm using to do no-code development. Now, it looks scary. It looks like there's a bunch of things here, but actually all Replit is and does for me right now, I mean, it has a ton of features, but the main thing I'm using it for is to store the code for my app in the cloud, okay? So that code is then accessible from any machine with an internet connection. I work often from my, as you can see here, my studio setting where I am now. I've got a really nice setup here, and most of the time I'm here, and that's great, but sometimes I'll hop over to my laptop, and also I'm going to be traveling. I travel quite a lot, so it's nice to be able to have all of this code, and you can see all the files are stored here on the left-hand side when I sync it. Don't worry, as I go through and do some features for my app today and bug fixes, you'll see how I'm doing all this, and hopefully you'll get a better insight into how this is all working. Okay, so that's a very important thing to do. Oh, I do want to give some shout outs, by the way. Some people have tuned into this stream live, which is very nice. So we've got Zevsdan, and we've also got RB High as well. Looking great, and a great start with the coffee. Thank you. Just found my channel today. This is amazing. So welcome. Do subscribe, throw likes, all of that good stuff. I'm going to do much more stuff like this, so hopefully you can join me for the journey. Right. Replit. So what does it do? Okay. So I've signed up I've got a core plan here. I think the core plan is about $10 a month. And it's a brilliant thing because it links with my Cursor, and Cursor is like my coding app. But when I say no code on the title of this video and in the thumbnail, I really mean it. There is code involved, but Cursor and AI and these tools write it for me and help me with it. Okay? So all of these files sync here. This is my app in the cloud. And the best thing about this is it actually has a load of tools here. And again, the one that I will probably show you that I think is quite interesting is called Web View. And it means that I can actually load up, see my app here inside a virtual browser inside Replit. So it's really cool because I can actually look through the pages of my app and look at this. This is actually my app running inside my development environment inside Replit. And if I were to go and access this, my Replit login from another machine, I could also have Comment Genie running straight away for me, and it's absolutely fantastic. So I think cloud sync development and cloud-based development will be the future of coding, especially when it's AI assisted. And another thing to add is that I'm just one person, so I'm making this app all by myself. No one else is helping me here, only artificial intelligence. But if you wanted to work with a team, Replit has a great integration where it's kind of like Google Docs for code editing, so you can have multiple people working on your app. And I think as it gets bigger and as people design the next $1 billion app in their bedrooms, essentially this is going to turn from a passion project into a big thing for many people, thanks to AI. I'm very AI positive, so I think this is great. AI positive? That sounds terrible, doesn't it? In one way, it sounds terrible. In another way, I think it sounds great, though. So anyway, that's just me. So there we go. Comment Genie running inside Replit. Now, when I go to, oh, by the way, I've got Git. We'll look at that later. I would suggest if you want to do any kind of AI development, you understand what Git is, okay? Git, most common way of explaining Git is GitHub, okay? So GitHub, you've probably seen, it's a Microsoft product. They put out a load of good stuff. And GitHub is great. Let me just drag in my GitHub profile here. Look, I've only got a couple of badges, and as you can see, I haven't really coded much recently, but since I've started doing this app, I've started coding loads. So you can see my profile is suddenly increasing. Now, I've done stuff in the past, like simple tools that I've made as public repositories. But over here, I actually have a brilliant Comment Genie Git repository here. And this, essentially, think of this as a place where you constantly update your code. So every time you make a change, you sync it. And the best thing about GitHub and Git, any kind of Git, it doesn't have to be GitHub, by the way, there's GitLab and others. But essentially, every time you make a change, it will update and sync, and it will show you those changes. Let me give you an example of that right now. So, okay, we've got GitHub. We've got Comment Genie, and we've got SSH connections, which if I click Launch Cursor now, like I was saying in the video I put out yesterday, you can link these two together really well. If I click this, look at this. Now, my cursor was already open, so that was actually rather quick as it opened up. But you'll see all of this code. Now, this code is not on my local machine, even though I'm working on Cursor on my local machine. But if we look down in the bottom left here, you might see if you're eagle-eyed, if you zoom in, actually, I can zoom in for you. If I hit Command and plus a lot of times, look at that. You'll see I'm connected via SSH. And what that means is I have a secure shell connection to Replit where my code lives. So everything is cloud-based, even though I'm working on an app, Cursor, and I'm just going to keep it quite big so you can see things on this stream. Cursor is working on my local machine with code in the cloud, which is great. Okay, so what are we going to do? We've got into Cursor. We'll just head back over here. We've got Git. So I wanted to show you how Git works and how you can make a simple update. So let's go back to Cursor. And we'll see here I've actually got open the roadmap of my projects. Again, this is all generated with AI. And on yesterday's video, I did chat about how I was chatting with GPT-4o advanced voice modes and brainstorming back and forth. And then she would summarize everything for me and even give me a tech stack. She told me to build with React, Python and Fast API, and Postgres database as well, which is really cool. I've got key features here. These are the key things basically to make my minimum viable product, which is great. And then I've got future features here. Now I'm going to update this because they're currently 1, 2, 3. And these came actually again as a result of brainstorming on voice mode with ChatGPT. But also I'm seeing some comments come in from my beta testers and also from YouTube videos, which funnily enough, this is an app to analyze YouTube video comments. So it's very handy. And you'll see future features include sentiment analysis. I'm going to try and work on that today. A topic suggestion. I can't speak today, can I? So essentially, it's going to suggest topics for new videos you could make based on the comments you recently had on your videos. That's another feature I want to bring in. And a video improver where you can gather ideas and constructive feedback from your comments and improve your future content. I think this will be really powerful when you have hundreds of comments on a video that you've put out and you want to find out where the black holes were in your video. And all of this stuff is, by the way, it's using AI and APIs. What is an API? Someone will have to tell me in the comments what API stands for because I can't remember. But essentially, it's a way of connecting with any app and using it in your app. Does that make sense? So what it means is when I make Comment Genie, and it pulls in the comments from your YouTube channel and allows you to reply to them using AI assistance. My app is using YouTube's API. Okay, it connects to your YouTube account, it pulls in the comments, and then it uses another API, actually, as we'll see in just a moment when I fix a bug, the Grok API that's Grok with a Q, by the way, to generate fast replies to those comments. So lots of APIs going on there. Really like this. Thanks a lot, says Kit Lee. Kit Lee, I'm really glad you're enjoying. So let's dive in further and see what we can do. So I want to show you Git. Okay, very simple way to work with this. Let's actually go to the roadmap file. This is just a preview. So this is Markdown. Markdown is generally used for kind of README files and files that need to look beautiful because when they're code, they look like this with double star or double asterisk to make it bold, bullet points, hashtags at the start of things to make them into titles, as you can see here. And what I want to do very quickly, I want to do a very simple update and show you how I could just update a part of my app. This is actually a README file. So I've got future features here. Now I'm going to select this inside Cursor, my code editor. So I've selected the future features. And I don't like the fact that it's a numbered bullet points at the moment. That's not cool. So what I'm going to do is hit Alt and, oh no, I think it's Command and K. Yes, and it brings up a chat window in line in my document that I'm working on here. And I can just say, make this into a to-do list, okay? And I'm working with Claude 3.5 Sonnet all the way. Even though I brainstorm with ChatGPT, I find ChatGPT is a brilliant partner for brainstorming and riffing, especially with advanced voice mode now. But I find Claude is the best coder and updater and worker. So actually, I do work with Claude here in Cursor. Let's submit that edit, and it's going to very quickly, hopefully, iterate over my code. And look, it did it really quickly. Oh, wow. And it's actually made it better than before. So this was the old code, the stuff that's in red, and now the update that the AI has just made is beautiful. Now it's given these little square brackets here to essentially turn this into a to-do list. So analyze comment sentiment, create graphs with happy and sad faces, and integrate. And I've already bookmarked something on Hugging Face I want to use for sentiment analysis. It's a really cool model, really cool AI model that I'm hoping to integrate. So let's accept that change, and you'll see it's got a little dot. Well, not if I hover over it. It's a little white dot saying this file has changed and you didn't save it. So if I hit Command S on my keyboard, that should save it. And I should get a little M there by the roadmap.md. That indicates, because I'm syncing with Git, that this file has been modified. And therefore, I need to sync my changes. And the modified area is indicated by this sort of like blue stripy area next to it. If I go back into the preview, you'll see this is all here. And it gives me little tick boxes. And when I do something in the to-do list, I can just go into, say, one part of the new feature, and I can put an X in there. And obviously, it will just be an X there. But some things like GitHub actually turn this into a nice little checkbox. So it looks really good. Anyway, I'll undo that. And I will just sync this one change. So to do that, I need to go to this rather nice looking code tree icon here. And I don't know if I can generate with AI. Now, that's the only thing is I can't generate with AI. And actually, I don't want to sync to Git via Cursor. I want to do it via Replit because Replit is kind of nicer for that. Application Program Interface. Of course it is, Wicketman. Thank you, Wicketman, for letting me know that an API is Application Program Interface. To anyone who doesn't know what an API is, that's still a very confusing description. Okay, so we'll go and sync this change to Git, and I'll show you basically how Git would work, because Git's really cool and it's good at keeping track. So if you make a load of changes and something goes wrong, or you introduce a new bug, Git will allow you to roll back to a previous version of your app. It's super handy and super needed. Okay, so now when I go to the Git tab of Replit, remember this is all in the cloud. Look at this. It's coming down here. It's asking me to commit. Commit? We only just started dating. You want me to commit already? No, it basically means you made a change, commit it to your Git repository. And it shows you the changed file is roadmap.md. So I can just do a summary of my comment. Now, there are AI tools that allow you to do this, but I haven't found a good integration to do automatic Git commit messages in Replit or in Cursor yet, for that matter. So if you know one, please let me know. I'll just say changed. So you just basically have to say what changes you made during this specific update. Changed future features into to-do list. Okay, Command Enter, and that then commits it to the top of the tree. There you go. Okay, so that change is committed. Now, you'll see over here, I made my last update 17 hours ago. That was yesterday when I did my YouTube video about this kind of no-code, low-code AI solution. I'm going to sync it with remote. Okay, yes, I've connected all my GitHub credentials, so just say yes to that, and then it's going to sync, and it's done. Okay, now if I go back to GitHub and I refresh this private repository here, you'll see the last update was now, and then you'll see down here, it tells you what changed, which is this file here, roadmap.md. Then I can go into it and look at that. Now my future features to-do list is a nice little tick box list here, as opposed to a bulleted numbers. And I can't actually physically tick these, but when I go back to the code over in Cursor, I can put an X in the box and they'll be marked as done. And I can look at things like the raw code, which is, as you can see, that's how it looks as raw code. And I can look at the blame, so I know who to blame for the changes. and you've got here, this is the bit that updated here 1 minute ago. And it shows me very clearly that's the bit that changed, okay? And if I click into this, you'll see it will give you newer and older things, but I haven't really made many updates, so this is fine. This is good. Okay. So let's get into it, and let's, as I've said, I'm going to try and create one new feature on this stream, and I'm also going to try and squash one bug, okay? So there's one bug that needs to be squashed. It's not a big bug. It's actually just a bug I discovered this morning, and it was only through coincidence that bug came to my attention. It's not a biggie, it's not a problem, but my beta testers have been very good so far. So let's have a look. So this app helps YouTubers to respond to their comments using the assistance of AI. And if we go back over to Cursor, where I'm actually running in my terminal, the back end and the front end, you'll see here a load of stuff going on. And I don't know what this is actually, why this has come up. That's probably not good. That looks like a lot of errors. But anyway, this is the stuff that's internal server error. Okay, we'll take a look at that. It's probably because I just need to restart the back end. By the way, all the data I'm showing you on the screen, this is no one's personal information. This is just my testing environment. So it's only connected to my YouTube channel. So if anything, I'm only showing you things that are my own data, not showing you the live app that's with beta testers right now that obviously has the details of other people using this. Now, this is it. So, okay, I found it here. And we've got error here. So earlier on, and this only happened for a brief moment, but I caught it. I logged in and I used Grok to generate my replies, and it was coming back with error, service unavailable, and it was giving me a 503 error code. I'm actually going to copy that, and I'm actually going to, I use Sublime Text, by the way. I still like it as a way of keeping notes in kind of with no formatting, essentially. Sublime Text is great. This is Sublime Text. It's a very simple app, and I'm going to start a new little tab there, and I'm going to paste in those errors so I can keep them. Let's just get rid of everything else and just keep the... Actually, in all honesty, all I need is that one error, because this is the bug I'm going to try and squash. So when my AI service, Grok, essentially says there's an error generating the AI reply, 503 unavailable. Okay, so I need to build in some redundancy for that. Because obviously, yeah, it's funny how it only happened to me this morning. It happened for a couple of minutes, and then I made my coffee and came back, and then the error had gone. So I assumed Grok had a temporary outage. But obviously that's not good, and I want to make sure that if that happens, we fall back on another AI model. Now, why am I using Grok? That's Grok with a Q, G-R-O-Q, because it's very fast. It's lightning fast, and I'm using one of their Llama models to reply to comments. Actually, I've been really impressed with it. I made a previous automation app with make.com to respond to some YouTube comments, and I was using like Claude 3.5 Sonnet and ChatGPT, and I actually think Grok with Llama is better. So it says a lot about the Llama AI model, doesn't it? So yeah, Grok works tremendously well, and right now, actually, it's free for developers to use. They actually don't want to take your money. There's no place on the Grok website to pay them right now. I'm sure that will change in the future. But because it's free, you know, you might be rate limited, or it might fall down at times, as it did for me today, and I'd like to have some redundancy. So I'd like to integrate it so that it falls over to OpenAI. I think that's pretty straightforward and easy for me if something like this happens. So let's go and have a little look. Okay, API keys. Okay, yeah, this is good. So I need to create a new secure AI key. Let's just bring this on screen here. So this is my OpenAI account, and I'm going to create a new secret key that I can use with my app, and it will only call OpenAI ChatGPT if Grok falls down for whatever reason. So first of all, I need to create a new key, and we'll call this key, let's call this, well, the name of the app, actually. That's probably sensible, then I'll know what it is. Okay, just going to leave it in my default project, and then I'm going to create that key. Now I'm going to do that off screen because it's going to show a credential that I'm going to actually start using. So create secret key. Okay, now it's given me a key that I can paste into my app in a second. So we need to go into Cursor, and we need to develop this new idea. So first of all, I'm going to search my code, and I'm going to find out exactly where Grok is being called in the code. This will give me a help. Now, I could use AI straight away to do this. So it's in my environments example in the root directory. It's also in my Docker Compose file. It's in my README file, and it's also in my main.py in the back end. Okay, so that's going to help me talk to Cursor Composer. So we need to think logically about building this out a step at a time. So I'm going to start by saying, let's get rid of roadmap as context because we don't need it there. I'm going to start by saying build me redundancy in the main py. Where is main py? It's not showing up. Why is it not finding main py? Main py. Okay, so that's my back end file. Why is it not very... The beauty of a live stream when things don't work. Nice. What's going on? I think my SSH connection is having trouble. Let's close down Cursor and reconnect it. There we go. Okay, back to Replit. SSH, launch Cursor. Boom. Let's get in here. Hello. Yeah, sometimes that happens. The SSH connection drops. So just give it a second to bring this back up. And then hopefully we'll get our code available to work with again. And I can start talking about redundancy. Okay. Okay, so add redundancy in main py. That's it. Can access it. And actually, this is the really cool thing for when Grok API fails. Cool. And then now this is where it gets super powerful. I can actually go to docs and I can add a new doc. Okay. So I will actually go ahead. I need to find OpenAI API docs, API reference. Let's see. Okay. So I've got this web page essentially from OpenAI, and I want to talk to their chat model, obviously. And this is their API documentation for ChatGPT, essentially. So essentially, if I were to send a request like this, you see here, system message. So that would be something like you're responding to a YouTube comment, and then the role of the user would be, please respond to a comment, or please respond to this comment, colon, and then the comment. So that's how you'd send it over the API, and it gives you various different ways like curl or Python. My backend is in Python like that. Now, I don't need to copy any context from here because actually what I can do is I can copy, actually I can just copy the whole OpenAI docs. So let's do that. Let's copy OpenAI's API documentation, and then we'll go back to Cursor, and then we'll paste in the doc there, hit enter, and we'll say OpenAI API. Okay, and then confirm. Now it's just going to open up my settings in a second, and it's going to show that Cursor is indexing. So I will wait until that's finished, and you see it syncs your code base. It's all very clever. This is why I use Cursor for development. It's a fork of Microsoft's Visual Studio Code, and it's excellent. Okay. Oh, looks like it's done it already, indexed. Okay. So that means now that Cursor is bang up to date on everything that OpenAI are doing. Otherwise, I find the chat models sometimes hallucinate or get it wrong and put wonky code in, and it just doesn't work. Okay, so that's good. That's all synced, and you notice I'm tagging it in my call to Cursor Composer, my AI assistant. I'm saying add redundancy in main.py for when Grok API fails. Call OpenAI API instead, but only if Grok fails. And then we'll also say add environment variables. Now, environment variables are essentially keys and secrets and usernames and passwords that are global to your project. And that's why I've got .env.example. That's essentially going to contain my API key for Grok, for OpenAI, for the YouTube API, all that good stuff. So environment variables, they're the way to go, because what it means is if I open my, say, Docker Compose, for example, you'll see all the secret stuff is referenced, and it's referenced to this .env.example. Well, actually, it will be .env when it lives on a server. But that means you can go into your code and you're never going to see a secret password or anything in that code, which is great for security. So basically, you should do it that way. Okay, so add environment variables for the, oh, actually it's just add environment variable, isn't it? It's just one environment variable for the OpenAI key. Okay, so does that make sense? Add redundancy in main.py for when Grok API fails. Call OpenAI API instead, but only if Grok fails. Maybe we'll make that caps just to make sure the AI understands. Add environment variable for the OpenAI key. And then we need, it probably is smart enough to know to do this itself, but I like to be very specific when I prompt. So we'll say add it to at env example and Docker compose, because that's what I use to spin this app up on my remote server. I think I'm pretty clear there. If I'm not, it's not a problem because I can always roll AI changes back, but we'll get Cursor Composer going and it's going to do my first bug fix, hopefully. So there it's reading the API documentation. It's saying, certainly, I'll add redundancy to main.py to use OpenAI as a fallback when Grok fails. I'll also update your other files to include that OpenAI API key. This is brilliant. And this is the point where I can essentially sit back because it's updating the files for me and I can have a sip of coffee, which is really nice. If you're watching live, by the way, let me know who you are and where you're watching from. I'd love to know where in the world you are. Look at this. It's doing everything. And you can see it's actually updating all my files. So look at this. Docker, it's added OpenAI API key, and it's calling that environment variable. Oh, and it's asking me to accept the changes. Okay, this is good. And then over here in my env example, yes, OpenAI configuration. So all of this is looking really good. This is like fixing a bug in my app in like literally minutes. I love this. And then if I go to main.py, I can actually see the, so it's importing OpenAI, which is good. I'd expect it to do that. I'm going to have to install that as a dependency, but don't worry about that. We'll get to that in a second. And then you can see here, it's initializing the OpenAI API client with the API key. As you can see, that key is not in my code. It's calling a secret, which I absolutely love. And then if we go down here, we can see it's, okay, now it's added. I love the way AI adds comments as well. So try Grok API first. And the prompt here is your helpful assistant that generates short, friendly YouTube comment replies. And then down here, it's actually pulled this out, save the reply. Why has it done that? It's pulling out a load of stuff about saving reply to the database. I don't like the fact, oh no, it's pulled it in later. So it's all right. It's just done it again like that. And hopefully it hasn't made any wonky changes that's going to make the app really weird. So it's pulled this out, save the reply to the database. And it's done this. So it's like, okay, great. I see what it's doing here. So it's trying Grok first. And I do know a little bit of code to read it. So let's see. So try Grok is essentially what it's doing first. And then it's accept. Okay, so if there's an error, essentially the code has been updated by AI, I'd say. And I always like to, even though I kind of trust AI quite a lot now, I like to just look at the code. And you'll actually find, even if you don't know a line of code, after a while it starts to sort of make sense. So I can see it's basically saying here, if there's an error, log it to the terminal here and say there's an error generating an AI reply with Grok. Output the error message. So in this case, it would say there was a 503 error. That's what I got earlier. Instead, try the fallback to OpenAI. And I see it's pulled in GPT 3.5 Turbo. I think that'll be fine, actually, because that's nice, quick and fast. And I want my app to be fast. And do that. And if there's an error with OpenAI, just return, sorry, I couldn't generate a reply at this time. That's fine, and then the user can re-roll. But it's pretty unlikely, I'm hoping, that two AI models would fail at the same time. So I'm feeling good about this update. Big shout out, by the way, to our 3D artist in the gaming industry who's trying to be learning to code and made a few useful tools already thanks to AI. And you're based in Serbia, so it's great to have you watching this live stream right now, and I hope you're hopefully learning a little bit from this. Okay, so I've made this bug fix, okay, and probably actually I should save bug fixes to my roadmap as well, but I just got excited and started the live stream, so I'm doing this live. So I'm going to accept those changes. Now, when I do that, there's no real way of testing this, but what I can do is accept it and roll my app again and just make sure everything works as expected with no problems and errors, okay? And then I would expect in the future, if there was a Grok outage, it would fall back to OpenAI. So let's accept all. And what I'm going to do is I am actually going, so yeah, this is all looking good. Now you see my .env here, the actual file that's being referenced. This is just the example that I commit to my Git repository. This is not getting changed by the Cursor Composer, nor is it getting synced to Git because it actually contains my API keys. So what I'm going to do to make sure that this update works is I'm going to switch to the camera because I'm going to copy and paste my API key for OpenAI into that secret file that is actually working in my live instance. So let's do that. You get to look at my my face while I do this, which is fun. So I'm just pasting this into my actual .env file. That is the OpenAI key. Okay, that's a rather long key, and I have saved it, and that's done. Okay, cool. So just didn't want to show my OpenAI key on a live stream. So I've done that. I've actually just added that. So basically, .env is an exact copy of .env example. It's just that I've populated it with real values that I'm using in the app. So now that's all done. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to go and open my README file again and open it in preview mode because then it looks a lot nicer and prettier, and I've got instructions here, and again I've got AI to write these all out. It tells me how to run the application, so I'm going to start up the back end of my app like so. Okay, and it's going to run my back end. There you go, really easy, nice and easy. It's just started the reloader process. Come on, start the reloader process. Activate. Oh, that's not good. Oh, okay. Now in this instance, if I got an error like that, I could actually highlight that. Actually, I'll do it to show you how to troubleshoot something. So it can't find a module called OpenAI because we added this as a new feature. And basically Python that's running my back end requires different modules to be installed. And if they're not installed, things won't work. So like OpenAI has a module that I didn't install because I've just done this. So I have to do this myself. Now I know what to do. I just need to go to requirements.txt and basically add it to the bottom here. So I just add OpenAI to the bottom of the list, and then I run a command in my terminal to get it installed in my environment, and boom, done. Simple as that. But because I'm trying to be helpful and show you how you might troubleshoot things, I am actually going to troubleshoot this error using the chat. Now, there are two different ways that you can interact with AI inside Cursor. One is Composer, one is Chat. Composer is great if you want to edit and make new files and add new features, but Chat is great for troubleshooting a bug like this. And essentially, oh, I'm on Claude Opus. Let's go to Sonnet there. Okay, I will highlight all of this error here. It's rather long. I only need the bottom of the error really, but let's go right the way to the whole of that error, and then Command-C to copy it, and then we'll go over here. Let's get rid of requirements as context, paste, and you see it pastes in that terminal error there, and I'll say how to fix. Or actually, I can be really, if I'm really lazy, and well, why not? I'll just say fix. Like, the AI totally knows what I'm saying, so there's no point in being all fancy and say, excuse me, my dear AI, how may I fix this potential output from the terminal window? Just say fix. Fix! Fix! Sorry, I'm going to be in no good state when the AIs take over, am I? Fix it! Fix it! But as you can see, it's done that. Now, it's given me a bunch of ways to do this. Pip install OpenAI. But actually, it said if you've got a requirements file, which you can see I do have. I love AI so much. You just add this to the bottom of it. Okay, so I've got that open. OpenAI. Save. Command S. And then we run this command, which I can copy. And let's hit Control C to exit out of the back end. Let's clear my terminal to make it neat and tidy. And we'll just paste in pip install requirements, which is going to install the OpenAI module, which is going to make my thing run. Okay, we don't have to worry about this when I deploy this on a live server because Docker will build the app every time. And look at that. Yes, it's installing the OpenAI stuff, which I would expect. That is now done. And hopefully now, if I try and run this again, it should now work without throwing me an error. So paste and, oh, sorry, I'm already in the backend directory. Reload. And please, please, please work. Fingers crossed. Come on, you know you can do it. What? Really? The API key must be either set by passing. I thought I had passed the API key. What's going on here? What is going on here? The API key client option must be set either by passing API key to the client or by setting the OpenAI API key environment variable. Okay. But I thought that I did have it in my environment example, and I'm pretty sure that I've just added it. Again, I'll just switch to my face and double check this. I've definitely got my OpenAI API key there. Okay, so again, I'm going to, seeing as I've got this all working, let's go back and we'll ask the AI how to fix this particular problem. And again, I'm just going to select all of it for context, like so. And we'll ask chat. I don't want to use Composer because Composer will start editing files. So let's be nicer. How to fix. And then paste, and then see it puts the terminal output as context. Let's just see. Right, this is weird because I already have my OpenAI API key installed, and it's even telling me which files it should have it in. Oh, I know why it is. Because on this particular development instance, I've got a .env file in my backend directory. It's probably trying to reference that. You can see how sometimes these things get rather complex rather quickly, but AI will help you get there way quicker than, you know, if you were doing it yourself. So again, I'm just switching to my camera because I'm pasting in an OpenAI API key to my .env file in the back end. Okay. I did that. That should all be good. Control C, clear. Let's run those backend commands again. And third time lucky, we are going to have a fully launched app. Come on. Yes! Application startup complete. Come on. Okay, that's cool. I like that. So the backend is now running. I've made this bug fix to fall back on OpenAI when Grok's not working. So now I need to start a new terminal window down here, plus, and then we'll just paste in those commands, which start my front end. And it was as simple as that. So quick, starting the front end. And then if I command click, there's comment Genie. Okay, this is good. Now, what I am going to do is see if I can just make this window a little bit smaller temporarily. Yes, we'll put it over there. And I am going to go to the back end because that's really what I want to be looking at. So because I've asked the AI all the way through when developing my app, if there are any errors, any problems at all, log them here in the back end console so I can see them live and debug and troubleshoot. So what I'm hoping to do is have my app over here and the output of my terminal for the back end over here. So you'll be able to see as I log in, everything essentially working. But I'm going to switch to the camera as I just log in with my Google account, just off screen, like so, like this. And I'm going to connect it with a YouTube account. Let's actually create a magic. Let's connect it to this channel because I think I've had a few comments recently. So I'm just connecting and everything is looking good. Okay, that should be good. So let's go back. Okay. And it's generating AI replies. Now you can see over here, the console is logging everything that's happening, fetching channel data, fetching new comments from the YouTube API. So all along the way, I can see what my app is doing. And if there are any errors here, hopefully the terminal will catch them. Come on, please work. It's always an embarrassing look if you try and fix a bug and then everything breaks. Thinking for a long time. But actually, I found the local environment to be a lot slower than when I deploy this app on the web. So I don't know what's going on there, why it's a bit slower. Okay, this is not a good look. This is taking a long time to generate the AI replies. Should we refresh or should we leave it? I don't know. What do you think? Glad you folks in the comments are enjoying this. Even though I already have a bit of experience coding with AI, I've been experimenting with tools over 2 years now. Interesting to see how other people do it. Okay, yes, look at that. I don't know why it took so long, but it's calling Grok's API here to get all the responses, fetching the comments, processing the comments, and hopefully eventually Yeah, process the comments. It's fetching older comments because I'm using a database. And I'm really hoping it's going to pull in my latest YouTube comments here. It's taking a while to do it, but I've got a feeling this is just because I'm running locally at the moment. Things are a bit slow. Come on, you can do this. Any second now, we should see some replies. Suggested, oh, look at that, and it worked. Yeah, it took a while, but it worked. Okay, do a Beyond the Scope video. 10 minutes ago, someone replied on yesterday's video, and actually I can open that video should I like to, and there's my video from yesterday. And if I actually go all the way down, you'll see the comments with the highlighted comments. So when I click a link from my app, it takes you to the comment that was indeed left 11 minutes ago. Comment Genie is aware of that context. I'll definitely consider it for a future video. Thanks for the suggestion. Okay, so this is all working. This is great. Now, if I can regenerate that. See, it again calls Grok, and it generated a new comment, which is cool. Okay, so that's working really well. And I'm imagining if something went wrong with Grok, it would now fall back on OpenAI, and I've got my OpenAI key in there. So we've got more redundancy. So this app has basically pulled in all my latest comments on the no-code tutorial I put out yesterday. And this is working like a dream. So I'm pretty happy that I've squashed a bug. So I'd like to spend the rest of this live stream developing an exciting new feature for my app. Yeah, I feel really good about this. Actually, should we just give it a test to make sure this all works? So that's a great idea. I'll definitely consider it for a future video. Let's actually, first of all, the only thing actually, I had one of my beta testers said to me yesterday. By the way, if you want to become a beta tester for Comment Genie to help you with your YouTube comments, the link is down below. Big shout out to the beta testers. They're really helping me develop this app out using AI because I'm basically actioning your requests. Yeah, it's really, really cool stuff. So anyway, let's go back to this. So yeah, one of my beta testers, I was going to say, said it would be nice if you could enable the like or love feature here, where you get a comment that you like in the replies, and you can love it or like it. Unfortunately, the YouTube API doesn't allow that. Again, I asked AI if it does, and it's like, no, read the docs, you can't do that. I said, not a deal breaker, but it would be nice. But do a Beyond the Scope video. I'll just like that comment. Let's head to Comment Genie. That's a great idea. I'll definitely consider it for a future video. I mean, that's fine. Let's click post reply, test it. And as you can see here, it's going through, finding the comment ID, replied successfully, updating comment status. So it updates in the database, and that's now done. And that comment has disappeared, which is good. I like that. And by the way, I wanted to show you one more reason why I use Replit. So hopefully in this stream, I'm going into detail as to why I'm using tools. Replit, I said, is great for cloud-based stuff, but also not only does it connect with everything, like it connects, with my cursor, it connects with Git. I can actually see my app running locally inside this web view, which is really super neat. And if I want, I can make any screen big. So if I want to explore the app like this inside Replit, I can do so and use it. It's really cool stuff, and everything here updates in real time. But it also has integration with a database. Now, if you want to make any of the stuff that you're doing in an app that you're developing with the AI persistent, you're going to need to install it, or you're going to need to store, the data inside a database. All right. If you don't do that, the moment someone closes your web app and reopens it, everything's lost. All the context is lost. Okay, so database like Postgres, I think Postgres is great, and that's what AI told me to use for my app. It will store things like usernames, and it will store things like comments. So I don't want to be hitting the YouTube API all the time, every time someone posts or wants to find a comment, because that's going to get quite big, and Google are going to come to me and saying, you're hitting the YouTube API thousands of times every day. I'll say, I'm sorry, please increase my quota, Google. Please increase my quota. I'll go begging. So I want to essentially hit their API as little as possible, and that's where a database comes in, and that's where Replit comes in really handy with the paid plan that I'm using, because they give you in your account the ability to run simple Postgres databases. And you'll see this is my database, and this is where I store things. Now, again, no personal data is being shown here. I'm not showing you the live app. This is my development instance, which only has my comments, so I'm not sharing any third-party data here, but if I click into comments, for instance, you'll be able to see here it records things like the comment ID from YouTube, the video ID, the user ID, so that's my ID, who wrote the comment, and what the comment says. So this is all stored here, which is really good, and database is connected. So this is just a great way of running a development database without having to like run commands to spin up your own database, which could get complex. And the best thing is, if I want to start my app again from ground zero, in my development environment, I can just scroll down and click remove database, and then I can just recreate a database like with a couple of clicks. Boom, it's very snappy, like click, click, and I'm in and I'm done. So this is another really cool feature of Replit. Anyway, getting distracted here, let's look back at Cursor. So I'm really happy with the way this has all worked. This is working really well. It's pulling in new comments, everything's working, and I've squashed that bug. So actually, I should probably go ahead and go to Roadmap. Okay, let's just get rid of all this. Let's open a preview window. It's getting rather complex, rather fast, isn't it? Okay, roadmap preview, and I wonder maybe we can close down all of these for the moment. Okay, now we've got roadmap here. What I'd like to do is maybe add bug fixes to this. So, sorry, I'll open the markdown version, and I'll simply click into this file, and I'll ask in context Command K, add a section for bug fixes, and make a to-do list. First bug should be add redundancy for Grok AI API. If it fails, fall over to OpenAI. Okay, I think that's good. Hit enter, it's going to know what to do, and it's knowing that I'm working here. I don't like the fact that it's put the bug fixes at the top. No, don't want that. Maybe that's because I selected that area. Okay, let's go right the way. Where have we got here? So we got steps to build. Really, this is actually higgledy-piggledy. Let's just put it in. Let's put it in after features, because features are more fun. So let's just enter this here. Command K. Oh, not Command L. Command K. Command K. Oh, it's got rid of everything. Okay. Add a to-do list for bug fixes. First bug with tick to show done is add redundancy. I can't spell today, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter actually, does it? It's AI. Redundancy for Grok AI API. Fall over to OpenAI if Grok fails. I'm really spelling badly there, but the AI should understand. Okay, implement bug fixes, add redundancy for Grok API. Oh, look at this. It's adding me hallucinated bugs to fix. Interesting. Address performance bottlenecks, fix inconsistent AI reply styles. Okay, well, let's just accept that. And I don't need those hallucinated bug fixes. Actually, no, I don't like that. Oh, come on, AI, get it right. Okay. So I need to say add a title, bug fixes, and only include, I'm really spelling badly, first bug, because I don't want all these hallucinations. Let's see if it gets it better this time. Bug fixes, add redundancy for Grok. Brilliant. Okay, we got there in the end. See, AI is good, but it can slow you down sometimes. Now I'm just going to like move this around because I don't like the order of all this at the moment. Let's move the features and the bugs to the bottom of this roadmap, like so. Okay, and then we'll save it. Okay, so I've now fixed a bug in my app. I now fall over to a secondary AI model, which is good. So thanks so much for the encouraging comments, by the way, those of you watching live. So let's go back over to Replit. And again, we'll click to Git, and we'll just commit this as an update. Let's get rid of that web view for the moment. And we'll just say the message is bug fix. Fall over if Grok AI API fails. Fall to open AI API. Command enter, command enter. Good, that's done. Sync with remote. And when we go over to GitHub in a second to my repo, we should see if we go back to the code that yes, commit was made now with the bug fix and all the relevant areas where that bug fix has been done. Okay, this is excellent. Okay, now let's get ourselves a really good new feature. By the way, at this stage, I did talk a little bit about how I work with ChatGPT on the video I put out yesterday, but I wanted to give you a little more nuance and show you my process. I created a thread in ChatGPT, and I just want to show you how powerful it is for brainstorming ideas for apps. So let's go back. Here we go to OpenAI. So I work with ChatGPT 4.0 in voice mode, and I had loads of comments back and forth trying to get all the features of the app that I wanted before asking it for a really cool roadmap, and I used O1. And then I actually asked it for some ideas on how to name my app. And you know what ChatGPT is like. It doesn't always give you the best best responses, does it? Reply Pro, Comment Genius, Tube Reply, Comment Bot, Reply Smart. And I thought those were all a bit cheesy. But what I do like about AI is you can kind of jam with it. So it can maybe give you some ideas on how you might potentially, kind of use this. Okay. And when I saw the word Comment Genius here, I was like, ooh, yes, Comment Genius. Actually, that's close to what I want. What about Comment Genie? As you can tell from this channel with wizards and mythical things and magic, I do like kind of magical, mystical stuff, and Comment Genie sits well with me. So this kind of feedback from ChatGPT kind of really got me thinking, yes, I'll call it Comment Genius. And you can ask it, okay, build me out all the UX features and stuff. And then I said, right, I'm putting it into Git. How should I call it in Git? And it's like Comment-Genie. I always like to follow best practices. So I find OpenAI works really well with that. Okay, so with all this done, let's go back. We've committed it to Git. This is working well. We're up to date. Now we can build an exciting new feature from my features list in Cursor. So if we go back to the roadmap now that's fully updated, you will see at the bottom here, that bug fix is done. I want to implement sentiment analysis, and we're going to be using this AI model. Thought it's really good. So actually, yeah, let's just open it in a new window. Now, this is Hugging Face. And this is a model. It's quite popular. It had over nearly 4 million downloads last month. And it is the best sentiment analysis AI model that I've been able to find. And I did quite a few searches. I actually used Perplexity. I think Perplexity is great for real-time information. So I said, why don't I add sentiment analysis to my app? What's the best way of doing this with AI? Now, I know I could use something like ChatGPT, and I can say, analyze this comment and tell me if it's good or bad. But then I came across this little model on Hugging Face, and I thought this is great because it was trained on around 124 million tweets from January 2018 to December 2021, and fine-tuned for sentiment analysis, which I really like. So, you can give it a test. Look, it gives you an example here, but let's actually delete this and let's see if I can go ahead and maybe grab some comments from my latest video just to show you exactly how this might work in practice if I were to use it. So essentially, I can use this inference API right here inside Hugging Face as long as I'm logged in with an account, and I'm going to do so. So let's see. Okay. I'm going to copy and paste a comment from my YouTube channel here. Nice. What's your total subscription cost for this entire stack? Compute. And look at this. Immediately it tells me it's mostly positive. 837. 0.837 positive, 0.158 negative, and 0.005 neutral. I wonder if I can go through. I'm just looking on my other screen at my comments. Let's look at comments I have responded to. And I'm going to try and find a nasty comment. I don't get many nasty comments, but oh, look, here's one on a previous video. Let's paste this one in. Biggest clickbait I've ever seen, LMAO. Compute, and oh, the model is loading. It's taking a little while for this one. Let's see what comes up. And I just realized I might need to scroll down because my face is maybe covering this. Okay, yeah, and it's got it right. It says it's 0.902 negative And yeah, a little bit neutral and definitely not very positive. So as you can see, this is why I was kind of getting excited about this particular AI model. It's really good. It's really accurate. It's fine-tuned for sentiment analysis. So I want to integrate this into my app. And Hugging Face actually have the ability to use this in an app. You can use the model. Let's actually go to deploy. Now, of course, if you're going to do something that's dedicated, you should use inference endpoints. But I'm going to use the prototype inference API. Okay, this is great. And this gives me what I need to put in. So yes, API URL, headers and inputs and feedback. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. So I'm just going to maybe go to my camera while I get a token for this. Okay, hang on. I can actually show you this. So I'm in my Hugging Face account and I can create a new token and we'll call this token, again, comment Genie, keep everything in context like that. And this is the point where I'll switch away and I'll create that token. Oh, actually, it might be worth to show you what I'm doing over here. So I want inference. I want to make calls to the serverless inference API. And let's just tick all of inference so we can use this. Okay. Actually, no, we don't need those. All we need to do is make calls to the serverless inference API. That's all we need. So now I've done that, I'll scroll down and I can create the token. And this is the point at which I'll just hide that token because it's now showing on my screen. And I'll save that token onto my Sublime text. And that's now done. Okay. And you can see that there, yeah, I created a comment Genie token, which is really good. So that's all good. So that should all be working. Now I'm going to go back now that I've got my token and I'm going to, this is great because this is Python, which is exactly what I want. So let's copy this and I'm going to take that code because again, if I was doing something a little more complex with Hugging Face, I might, again, scan over the API documentation and feed it into Cursor. But because it's like really simple, it's just this to call the sentiment analysis model. I'll just copy that and I'll feed it straight to Cursor Composer as an example. So now I've got what I need to run this. I'm going to kind of do a test to see if I can make it work. So back over in Cursor, we're working on this feature, implement sentiment analysis, and we're going to go to Composer. Okay. So let's see. I wonder if I can copy and paste that. Is it going to take the context? Okay. I don't want to do anything fancy with graphs. Always think MVP. We just want to do this. So implement sentiment analysis, integrate this model for analysis of each comment in real time. Don't store results in database DB. Just show. Let's start with should we do emojis? I don't know. How am I going to do this? Actually, on each comment. Whoops. No, I hit enter too quickly there. Implement sentiment analysis. Integrate this model for analysis of each comment in real time. Don't store results in DB. Just show on each comment a calculated sentiment. Do percentages for positive, negative, and neutral. What else am I going to need here to make this work really well? Use this code to do it in, again, my backend, which is main.py. And then I like to use triple quotes whenever I'm inserting complex code, because that's it's a best practice I think I saw on Anthropic's site, because obviously you get quotes throughout the code. So triple quotes kind of like super duper enclose that code. So use this in main py. Also put environment variables for API key in .env example and Docker Compose, of course, because that's what I'm using to do my production app. I think that's all good. Should we just roll it? Sorry, and I'm aware I'm not showing this to you, am I? Okay, so all of that stuff. So I basically, I've typed into Cursor Composer here, implement sentiment analysis, integrate, and this is literally I'm trying to one-shot add a feature to my app, which is pretty cool. If this works, I'll be really impressed. So use this model for analysis of each comment in real time. Don't store results in DB, just show on each comment a calculated sentiment. Do percentages for positive, negative, and neutral. We could maybe do things like emojis later and stuff like that. Use this code to do it in main py. Okay, it might also be worth to feed it how the output looks. So when we get something back, yeah, let's copy this, because then we can give an example of how the result should look, so it knows what to expect. A result from the API. Actually, now it's got me second guessing. Maybe I should actually go ahead and test this out in a terminal window. I'm going to do this off screen because I'm using my API key. But maybe I should test this out to see exactly what output I get, because otherwise the AI is going to be guessing what's going to come back and I'll get hallucinations. So let's see, can I do this? Would look, actually, let's just roll it and see what happens like this. Triple quotes again. Let's go back. So yeah, I'm just going to I'm going to copy and paste this kind of output. So it knows kind of what it's working with. Negative, neutral, positive. Okay. Right. One shot, add the feature. So I want to implement this feature, and I've done like a one-shot prompt there that I'm hoping is just going to update all of my files and magically add this feature. Let's sit back. I need more coffee. Thank you, YouTube, for sending me a voucher for Costa Coffee. That was very nice indeed. It's a caffeine-powered YouTube live stream today. And if you're enjoying what you see so far, this might be a good point to throw a like on the live stream. Share it out wherever you fancy, wherever you're most active, and let other people see how this is working. It's actually doing this all now in real time. It's applying everything, which is really good. And also subscribe to my channel. I know many of you already have done, and so many of you have said that... Yes, thank you. I'm so glad that you're finding it helpful that there's a sentiment analysis model. Okay, right. So we should have now in Docker Compose, yes, the Hugging Face API key, which is needed. And in env example, it should have added that, which it has. And then let's double check the work here. Now it's importing more stuff here and importing requests. So I'm going to need to put that into my requirements again. And then let's have a look down here. Okay, cool. So... I'm just a little bit concerned that it doesn't seem to be calling that API, though. Oh, no, maybe it is. Or not. Well, we can just apply this. We can always undo it if it doesn't work. It just looks a bit scant there. It doesn't look like it's using what I thought would be. Text display, humanized timestamp. This is all good stuff. Sentiment. So where is the thing where it calls the API? Oh, is that up there? I cannot see anywhere where it's calling the API, which is a little bit of a concern. Oh, no. Oh, it is. It is. I just missed it here. Yeah, it's calling with the Hugging Face API key. It's looking for the sentiment. Timesing it by 100 to get a percentage. Very clever stuff. All right, I've got a good feeling about this. I'm going to accept those changes. And what is really cool is, and I'll just switch to my face again. So actually, first of all, I'm going to accept those changes. Okay, and now notice it restarted my backend server when I accepted the changes. This is the cool thing about coding in real time, especially in the cloud, is that it does everything instantly. So you don't need to always restart things. It does it automatically for you. I'm going to switch to my camera while I actually insert my real Hugging Face API key into the environment file. So let's do that just underneath my OpenAI key. Let's get that in and test this out and see if it works. I'm a bit nervous. I'm developing a feature in real time, and I just do not know yet if it's going to work. But I'm hoping that it will. Okay, so I need to remember to put that in there, save it, close it so that API keys aren't all over my screen, and go back. Okay. Right, so I've done that. So this is the env example, but in the actual .env, and also for development purposes, I've put one in the back end as well. That's now done. Everything is restarted, so it should just work. It should just work. Let's open up the front end and let's see what it's done. Okay, it's opened it over on my second screen. So let's, again, I'm just going to log in off the screen, and we'll see what goes. So this, yeah, this is a beautiful sentiment analysis window. I'm glad that this is proving of help. So I'm just logging into my account now on Comment Genie, and we'll see what it does. Okay, so it's doing all the analysis stuff. And again, this is where it would be good to squash this and see what's going on in the back end over here while that works away and does everything. It's doing stuff with Grok, which is good. I wonder if it's going to log to the console about, and I've realized I've logged in with my Mike Russell channel, not Creator Magic. So this is going to be a different channel. I wonder if it's going to do sentiment analysis. No. That, I know why that is, though. It doesn't say anything in the console about doing sentiment analysis, but maybe I haven't console logged it. Okay. Best thing is about Composer, when you've got a thread going, it's contextual, so it remembers what it's done before. I'm just going to say add console logging so I can see sentiment analysis working in the back end, and add positive, negative, and neutral neutral percentages to the dashboard. So that's why it wasn't working, because I hadn't actually I implemented the feature in the back end, so it's probably doing everything in the back end, but it's not showing it on the user's dashboard. So again, I need to talk to Cursor Composer. It's going to go through. Certainly, yes, I can do that. I don't know why it's editing my. Oh yes, it's editing main PY to do console logging. I was like, why is it editing the back end again? It's hallucinating. It's not hallucinating. It's okay. It's really okay. Just stay calm. Let AI do its thing. This is the one thing working with AI on coding I find is that, you know, sometimes this will take like a minute or two. It's not instant. It's not like like that. It's sometimes it's 30 seconds, 60 seconds, a couple of minutes. It's done it. Oh yes, and it's worked on dashboard as well. Let's just have a look at my dashboard and see what it's done. So it's adding, oh, well, look at this. It's even putting green, yellow, and red colors for sentiment. I didn't ask it to do that. I like that. And then down here, it's going to show the sentiment bar. Oh, this is looking good. Now, if I go to my front end and again, accept all, look, it'll should restart the front end. Oh no, the front end is dynamic. It's restarted the back end. So now, if I go back to my app and hit refresh, it's the moment of truth. Moment of truth. Come on. Do it. Do it. AI, one-shot AI new feature. And if this is done, I can have my lunch. No. Error loading channel information. Oh. I was so hoping this was going to work. Okay. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start I'm just going to shut down back end and front end, restart everything. Sometimes it gets stuck. Let's start the back end up first again. So we'll start the back end. And we'll start the front end. Is that back end loaded? Yeah, it is. Actually, is it because I need to install a new requests? Probably that might have something really huge to do with it. So actually, we need to get that working. Now, obviously, I was showing this earlier in the video. When you import a new thing to a Python file, you need to put it in a requirements.txt. So we haven't got requests in here. No, we haven't got requests. So now if I add it, now we've got requests. Okay, that's probably one of the big reasons it's not working. And then pip install -r requirements.txt is going to go ahead and install requests. Okay, I hope that is done. And now we'll go back and we'll re-roll the back end and re-roll the front end. And then I'm going to open this in a new window and I'm going to log in off the screen, get rid of all that, log in, and then hopefully let's actually bring in, I'm going to log in as Creator Magic because I kind of enjoy that more because that's the channel that I'm working on right now, and it would be great to see the sentiment of recent comments. So just doing the login process via Google, and hopefully, boom, generating AI replies. Let's look at the back end again. Okay, oops. Okay, come on. You can do this. Please do this. Make it work. I know this can work. It's fetching all the old comments from the database. And hopefully, we're going to see something cool. Please don't error me. Oh, no. What is going on? You see, this is where new errors can come in. There's no obvious error here. Okay, let's see if AI can fix this. Error loading channel information. Okay. I got... Please fix. It might be something really simple that the AI changed. I apologize for the error. Okay, well, let's see if it can fix the issue that it's introduced, because I'd really like to see the sentiment analysis working. So again, it's going through on the back end and trying to make an update there so that we can have something good and working. You see, it's not all glory and glamour. Okay, now let's update the dashboard to handle errors better. Okay, I'm sure it's a simple problem that it's working on. Just going to look at what it's done over here. So it's made one little update here. Oh, user not authenticated. Yeah, okay, maybe. I don't know if that's good or not. And then it's putting stuff like, okay. Yeah, well, hopefully. I don't like the fact it's replacing out bits of code that are designed to fetch comments. I'm not sure. Well, let's try it. Anyway, let's try it and see if that gets things rolling again. If it gets things rolling, I'm not going to complain. Okay, refresh. Processing comments. Okay, now we've got cannot read properties of undefined reading positive. Please try again later. So I just don't think that it's doing this at all. Okay, no fear. So in that case, I'm going to roll back and try and do it again because this is just not working, is it? Let's copy this because this was a helpful thing to have. I wonder if there's anything else I can do. Error loading channel information. Cannot read properties of undefined reading positive. Please try again later. No, I definitely don't like where that is going. Well, actually, before I completely give up, let's just do this. See if it can figure it out. Fix. Okay, now it's trying to fix that. I apologize for the oversight. It seems the error is occurring because sentiment data is not being properly parsed or processed for some comments. Okay. All right, it's doing its thing. Rewriting some code. And that's the best thing. If this goes completely wrong, I can just roll it back and start again and maybe build. That's the thing with AI. It doesn't always build things out the way you think. And then you get stuck like this. But this is looking better. Ah, okay. We've got the comments back, but we have not got sentiment analysis. Oh, no. Sentiment analysis not available for this comment. Okay. Well, let's just keep jamming with it and see where this goes. Dashboard now works. Comments show, but I get on every comment. So I've just put in the error there that the dashboard works, comments show, but now I get sentiment analysis not available for this comment on every comment. So hopefully it's going to work. Yeah, thank goodness he implemented a checkpoint. I started so many projects from scratch because of errors that couldn't be fixed. That's the most annoying thing about development. Even with AI, it's like pretty annoying. I am trying hard. I'm trying hard. Come on. We can do this. We can do this. Right, it's doing its thing. It doesn't always work out because, you know, most people on YouTube and social media would have you believe, I created an app with one prompt. I created an app in 20 minutes with 6 prompts. As you can see from my live stream, it's not like that at all. I created an app with 20 prompts in 3 days. That's kind of more realistic. And a lot of chatting with ChatGPT beforehand. And then I created a feature and troubleshooted it for hours on a live stream. This is more realistic. I'm trying to keep it real, you know? I'm trying to really show you the pains and struggles presently of AI-assisted no-code. Yes, it does things, but it's not fast, and it's not one prompt, anyway, as far as I've seen. Let's see what comes up. But it's good news that so far we've put an update in, and it's recognizing sentiment analysis should be available. Here's a comment. I started using GitHub, and for every new feature, I would create a fork and merge once I'm sure it's working. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm not very good at forking. I need to get better at forking, and I'm sure one day I'll be the world's greatest forker. But for now, I just work on everything and roll it back if it doesn't. Okay, it's asking me to accept everything, so I'm adding it to the code, restarted, and let's just reboot this. Don't worry about these 404 not found errors. I wondered what that was initially, but that's because I've got it loaded in Replit, and as you can see, it's trying to call my API. So this is because I've got it open in Replit, not because there's an error with the app. You have AI tell you how to fix the fork. That's exactly what I can do. Right, refresh. What have we got here? Generating replies. Oh, yes, this is looking good. This is looking really good in the back end now. It is giving me sentiment analysis of all my comments. Woohoo, it's working. And oh man, that is so cool. That is so cool. Dude, oh man, I love this. Not only has it given a sentiment analysis, but it's gone above and beyond and visually shown it. Oh man, now look, listen. You know, this is way better than it used to be. I'd probably spend days making a feature like this. But now I have literally, this live stream has been going for 1 hour and 22 minutes so far. And already I squashed a bug, falling back on another AI model if my Grok AI fails. And I've built in a new feature. And we'll call this, because I rambled on for a few minutes, let's just say it took me an hour to fix a bug and introduce a new feature. Hallelujah. They are without emotions. I was going to add emojis, but I don't know if that'll make it cheesy. But for now, this looks insane. Okay, let's see how good it is. Create a reply all button for universal reply to comments. Yeah, that's neutral, isn't it? It's kind of positive because it's helping me, but I like the fact that this comment is neutral. Now, this one is very positive. Which model are you using to reply to comments? Very nice workflow, by the way. Yep. This correctly got it. Again, I wanted to use this model because it's trained on 124 million tweets, so it should be good. Again, nice. What's your total subscription cost? Again, mainly positive here. This is a neutral one. I guess you have used premium version of V0. Same for other tools. Yeah, that's neutral. I agree with that. Can you use ChatGPT 01 for free? Again, neutral. Okay, this is good. This is really good. I love this new feature. I'm going to roll it out to production so that my beta testers can try it out too. So this is a really good point. Now I've shown you how easy it is to use AI to update apps. This is literally taking me an hour to do something that would have taken days. And literally, if you think about it, you in the past, if you couldn't do something like this, you might have spent thousands of dollars working with a developer to get that feature implemented in your app. I have done it within the hour. Thanks to AI, thanks to the stack I'm using, which is Cursor, Replit. I've used V0 to do the front end and ChatGPT to brainstorm. That is insane and nice to see your feedback. Love your channel because this is how AI coding really works. And the app is not another stupid to-do app. Really? There are a lot of to-do apps out there. I quite like Notion, actually. Notion's good, but I'm thinking maybe I would build my own Notion in the future. I'm kind of into what I'm actually doing. The reason I've built this app is not really for anyone else. I've built it for me because Creator Magic is, it's a small, it's like a little acorn that has a shoot coming out of it. Whereas I have another YouTube channel that's been going for, it's been going for 14 years. I sound like an old man. Yes, I've been on YouTube for 14 years and my other channel is supremely busy, especially in comments. I can't keep up with them all. So I thought, and I know there are various solutions like YouTube Studio has a little AI thing, but it's not very comprehensive. It's just like, thanks, nice, great. I'm like, I want to say a bit more to my viewers, but I can't keep up with everyone. So just for full disclosure, by the way, I do actually reply to all the comments myself on Creator Magic. And going forward in the future, I'll probably use Comment Genie to help me reply to comments. But I'll also, the best thing about this app is you can edit comments and you can like make changes, see? So you can do that and you can regenerate comments, which is really good. But on my other channel, which is called just my name, Mike Russell, I can't keep up because the comments flood in every day. And an app like this is really going to help me. And I figure if it helps me, it'll probably help other YouTubers. Okay, we've got Passit OCV1. I don't know how to say your name, saying hello. Hello to you. Thanks for joining the live stream. So yeah, that's what I figure. If it helps me, it'll help others. And if you want to be a beta tester, I've got the link down below. So go and click it and sign up. There's a little Google form there. As soon as I finish this live stream, I'll approve the next round of beta testers. So if you want to be a beta tester, now is a good time to get involved because it's going to be completely free. And my game plan with this app is if I can get it really good and really helpful and really handy, and a lot of YouTubers, and thank you, a lot of beta testers are already feeding back to me and telling me what to change. This was one of the big requests, by the way, sentiment analysis. So I'm agile, I'm moving fast with AI. And then eventually, yeah, I'm only allowed 100 beta testers. Then I have to get the app approved by Google. And providing that all goes hunky-dory, then I will essentially roll it out as a main app. And yeah, I mean, the end game really is to have some subscriptions, maybe with a free plan so people can try it. And yeah, just build a SaaS product because that's what I think AI is going to help us build the next apps that can, generate new income streams, which is what it's all about, right? I would love to test your app, but I don't have any comments. Oh, no. Well, still, if you want to test the app, just fill it out. Share the YouTube channel you're going to use it on, and then you can just go back and forward and you can comment on your channel and test, listen, the reason I'm looking for beta testers is that I'm looking for people who will really use this and get back to me and say, this is great, this is rubbish, this works, this doesn't, I'd like to see this. And that's basically, that's how app development works, doesn't it? Beta testers who go, yeah, you should do this, that, and the other. So yeah, listen, Zevsden in Serbia, if you'd like to be a beta tester and you're happy to give me loads of feedback on what you think is good and what is not so good, then I want you in because this is really going to help me develop. It's all very well developing an app, but if it hasn't got any feedback or if no one wants to use it, then it's not very good. Right. I love how this sentiment analysis is working. I'm going to log out of Creator Magic now, and I'm going to log in with Google to Comment Genie. And I'm going to connect my main Mike Russell channel because this one has a fair few more comments, and sometimes I get a bit of negativity on my other channel, especially when I talk about AI. So I'm hoping it'll find me a negative comment to really check if this sentiment analysis works. An internal server error is always the best thing, isn't it? What happened here? Yeah, we did get something here that is not so good. So we need the AI to fix that up because that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, when we logged in, we got an internal server error. So let's just copy this and get Composer to fix it. Paste in the terminal context, which is right there. And we'll just say fix. It's my favorite command to AI. Fix. It's going through, it's thinking about it. Fix. And it's doing it. The error you're accounting is SSL connection issues with the database. Oh, really? Well, if that's the case, maybe I just need to restart the back end. So I'm going to actually cancel that chat because I don't want to make it changes unless it has to. Ooh, no. Reject. Reject, reject. Hopefully I didn't reject anything I shouldn't have done. Okay. Just going to try and get back to my app and see if I can log in now with my account. Okay, give me a second, just logging in again, and we'll see. Maybe it was a database error, but then again, maybe it wasn't. Let's log in. Okay, yes, this is working now. Good. This is with my other YouTube channel, so it must have been the fact I needed to restart my app's back end. Sometimes that can happen. Yeah, Zevston, yeah, brilliant. And if you can give me some feedback on how the app works, this is really what I'm looking for. What is next? Oh, look, it's doing the sentiment analysis. Oh, man, this is so cool. Look, I've had a negative comment. Look at this. Lordy, you are annoying. It's on my other channel. See, I told you, every time I talk about AI, I get negative comments. So you can find the haters now inside Comment Genie. This is so cool. This one is somewhat positive. I have no idea what that comment's about. Yeah, this one, love it. Good. This sentiment analysis is really good. So that means at a glance now, as you work through your comments, you can see what kind of mood. And this is one part of the feature that I've built, by the way, because in the future, I'm hoping that we'll be able to put things like emojis in. And then eventually, I'd love to have some kind of a page where I can maybe do a sentiment over time or sentiment per video. So it'll pull in the videos and it'll say, this is the sentiment on this video. This is the sentiment on that video. This one was, attracted a lot of positive comments. This one got a lot of negativity. And this is how your channel is doing overall over time. So it's like, on the 1st of October, you got a lot of haters. What did you do on that day kind of thing? So yeah, this is really working incredibly well. I'm actually going to, again, I'm going to log out and let's just do that. And I'm going to log in again with another channel that I own. So let me do that because I would like to see, I've got a rather small channel called AI News Today. It's basically an automated podcast about AI. And if I continue and log in, I've never connected this account before. Actually, maybe I did, but a long time ago. Let's just see if this works and if it works with comments from this channel as well. I like to test with multiple channels and look, boom, 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 boom. It's doing everything. Oh man, this is good. It's generating the replies. Like I say, this is an automated channel, so I'm not too concerned about, what. Oh, look at that. Yeah, positive, positive. So AI new by AI, that's a neutral comment. What's coming next? Great coverage, that's positive. Yeah, I'm pretty happy, and I think that I can roll this out into production. So at the moment, this is just running on localhost on my own machine, but you can be absolutely certain that I will push this out to my live app. Now, I've done a lot in this live stream. I have gone into a little more detail and nuance on how I'm using my AI tools stack to do AI no-code stuff. And I fixed a bug and I introduced a new feature. So the bug was falling back on another AI model if one fails, and the feature was to introduce sentiment analysis to every single YouTube comment in your dashboard. I think that's really, really cool. Yeah, I really, really like what we've managed to achieve together on this stream. The final thing, I know I've been streaming for 90 minutes now, but you guys seem to be liking it. So I maybe will try and deploy to production now, which means all of my current beta testers will get this feature in their dashboard straight away. And any new beta testers that have signed up during the duration of this stream, like I say, I'm going to be adding you to the app. I'm approving everyone manually at the moment. So if you want to get access to beta test this app, good time to do it is now, is fill out the Google form, which is linked down below in the description. And then as soon as I finish the live stream, I'm going to import the next batch of testers to my Comment Genie app, which essentially helps YouTubers with busy channels respond to their comments. The question is, am I feeling courageous enough to deploy this to production live? Maybe. What do you think? Maybe I should do it. Okay. Well, first of all, let's go back and let's look step by step at what we're going to do. So I'm pretty happy as happy can be, that this is working and there are no errors here. Do it. Okay, I'm getting the feedback to do it. Just do it. Okay. I'm a little concerned. So I want to, that's Replit, that's my Git. Okay, let's, I'm going to stop back end and I'm going to stop front end, and I'm just going to restart the whole app and just make absolutely sure that everything is working with a new startup. Because the worst thing is you think it's working, then you deploy to the production and it breaks. So let's start my back end over here with this command. Okay, so this is a fresh instance now of the app that I've spun up. Application complete. Again, don't worry about these 404 errors. That's to be expected. And then we'll start the front end like so. Ding. Okay, great. So this is a brand new instance of Comment Genie. Show my face as I log in. Log in. Connect to Mike Russell. Continue. And then we'll go back to show you that. It's generating the AI replies. Again, it'd be nice to see what the back end is doing here, because that's way more interesting than the front end. So it's trying to fetch, and for some reason, like I said earlier, it's slow on my local machine, but when I deploy it, everything gets a lot faster. It might be because of my development environment. Yeah, it's doing everything. I think we can definitely say that's working, even though someone said I am annoying on one of my AI videos. That's on my other channel. There's a lot of AI hate on my other channel. Cool. This is good. I just want to check actually that it's got parity with YouTube Studio. So I'm going to go in and just take a quick look at, let's see here, my YouTube Studio for my Mike Russell account. Let's look. So yeah, that's got parity with my, yeah, these comments are matching. And again, the cool thing about Comment Genie is I can click the video and it opens in a new window there, and then I can scroll down and it's going to show me the comment. Interestingly enough, that comment is not available. It might be because I'm using a stale database, so I wouldn't worry about that. Let's take a look at this video here and scroll down. Highlighted comment. Yeah, it's working there. Lordy, you are annoying. Sorry to hear that. I came across that way. I'll do my best to improve for next time. And if I like, I can regenerate that reply. You see, and it's calling Grok. Sometimes I've noticed with Grok, the replies are quite similar when you regenerate them. I might have to do some clever prompting to make sure it does more variety. Hope I can win you over for my future content. Oh, I like that. I'm going to stick with that one. That's what I'll use. It's the best way of dealing with haters. Comment Genie, right? It's like you get haters, you see the neutral tab, it's like, all right, post reply, done. Shake it off, as Taylor Swift would say. I don't care. Okay, deploy to production. That'll be the last part of this live stream, and then we'll be good. So I need to remember everything to do in order so I can show you. So I've used Cursor Composer. I've used a bit of chat here in Cursor to develop all these new things. First of all, I want to go to my roadmap again. Bing. And I want to go down to, so we did the bug fix. That is done. So what have we done about sentiment analysis? So I'm kind of working on this. So that's the main feature is not done yet. I have integrated the model for analysis, X, oops, putting that in the wrong place, X, and I have created graphs with happy and sad faces. Actually, I don't even know if I need happy and sad faces. Let's just say create graphs to display results and analyze sentiment over time and per video. Haven't done that feature yet. So 2 parts of this overall feature are now done. So I can save that to my roadmap. And now this is where I'll go over to Replit, which again is my code in the cloud. And every time I update in Cursor, because it's connected via SSH, you are going to see over here in Git, it's going to tell me, or it should tell me, yeah, boom, look at that. All of the files that I updated are there. So I've updated quite a bit there, but all of this will then introduce that feature. So I'll say new feature. New feature, sentiment analysis. Feeling pretty good about that. And then sync with remote. Okay, should be done. Refresh. Now, sentiment analysis added to my Git repo. Cool. Yeah, I must get into forking. That's a great idea from the comments on this live stream. If I can, these are branches. Oh, I see. So you just fork here, create a new fork, and then merge the forks. Suppose that makes sense. Yeah, that's one thing because like, you know, I know like in this live stream, I kind of seem like I know what I'm doing. And, you know, I've played with code a bit, and at our other company, we have a very advanced website and e-commerce store. And over the years, I've been heavily involved in working with developers on that. So I've learned a lot on the job because I was never classically trained, as you might say, in coding. I never went to school for it. You know, best I did was a computing GCSE here in the UK, where I learned how to open Excel spreadsheets. It was before Google Docs existed. Think about that. And how to save files and a little bit of CLI, but not much. So yeah, most of the stuff I've just is self-taught, you know. I always say to my wife, Isabella, who's like, she can speak multiple different languages as well. And she always says, you should learn another language. You should be able to speak Polish or Italian or Spanish. I'm like, great. I know it's good for the brain, but my language learning is actually coding. So once I can get AI to do things and then I can try and figure out what the AI has done, like I am just learning so much. This is like a fire hose of really cool stuff. And it's like my own personal tutor. It's patient, it's caring, and it just tells me the way I like to learn. So I absolutely love this. Right. So that's deployed to Git. Now, why would I do that? Well, obviously, these files live here on my computer via SSH to Replit. They're up here in the cloud inside Replit. And, sorry, branches. Okay, I need to do branches. That's what I need to get into. And then when I've committed to the Git, I can then go to my remote server, which is hosted on Linode. And by the way, I'd always say I would disclose if I mention something that is in any way affiliate or paid. Nothing is sponsored on this video, but Linode have an amazing affiliate program where you will get $100 of credit. Linode is basically a cloud hosting platform where you can deploy apps and websites and whatever and whatnot. And I think they're great. I think they're really good. If you use my link, which I think is mrc.fm/Linode, I'll post it in the live chat. It will give you $100 to use on your own deployments to the public. And then I get a credit of $25. I don't get that in real cash, but because I host everything that I make with Linode, it essentially knocks off $25 from my hosting bill. So if enough people use that link, not only will you be supporting the channel, but you'll be helping me to host things like this for free so I can do more things like this. So I hope that makes sense as to how you could maybe support the channel. So that's one way. Sign up to Linode with my link if you haven't done so already. $100 to play with servers in the cloud. Most servers cost like, $5 a month to run, so you can do loads of experiments with Linode. Okay, so yes, my deployment production is in Linode, and I've got a Mac terminal window open here, and I might not be able to show you all of this when I put in the secret keys. Okay, let's make this as big as we can. Zip, so that you can really see what's going on. Comment Genie. Is that big enough for you? Can you see? Oh my goodness, that's big. Okay, so in here, if I hit LS from the command line, this is essentially my app that's been pulled from the Git repo here. And obviously, it's the current version of the app. And actually, yeah, I'll get into a little bit more about this. Omar would like to know the cost of all the tools I'm using. I was going to post that because I've seen a few comments on my other video asking about pricing and stuff like that. So I'm essentially paying I think $16 a month for Cursor, $10 a month for Replit. Let's do this in real time on my calculator, and $20 a month for ChatGPT, the Pro account, and then I have not yet paid for V0, but I probably will in the future, especially if I use it enough. So that's $46 a month, basically. But I've paid for yearly plans from Replit and Cursor because I'm just like, this is cool. I'm going to use this a lot. And ChatGPT I paid for from the start because I think it's great, and I use it for many other things, so worth the money. Okay, so you'll see here, yeah, this is my app, and if I do ls-lah, that's it gives me a bit more information. It shows me the .env file that I'll need to edit and put all my secrets in. So we'll do that in a second. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in the latest updates that I committed to the Git to make sure it's in sync. So actually, hang on. First of all, I should shut down the app. So sorry, if any beta testers are using Comment Genie now, it'll shut down. Docker compose down. And this actually will stop my app. Boom. Stopping the containers, everything stopped. Okay, now my app is technically offline. And now I'll do git pull, which will pull in all the updates I just made during this video, the bug fix and the feature request. And look at this, it gives me a nice graphical display on how it's changed the code, which is cool. So now I've pulled in that code. The only thing I need to do for this to be able to work is copy my API keys in. That's something I have to do manually. I could probably set up a CI/CD process that could do that all for me, but at the moment I'm doing it the manual way. So let's go into my my actual .env file, and again, I'm not showing you this because they're real keys. And then I'm going to copy and paste. It's just the Hugging Face and the OpenAI that I need to get into my env file. And it was pretty much as simple as doing that and saving and closing that file. And then we'll go back to look at everything. And I'll pull my Mac terminal back up here so you can see. Okay, so basically I used nano.env, and that was just to paste in the keys for my new stuff. Otherwise, it won't work. Now, I don't need to install the Python dependencies because Docker Compose will do that for me. So technically now, all I should need to do... Yeah, I know Docker is so cool. I find it great. You should Dockerize everything because it means you can move it to any server and you're not locked in. So for instance, I could deploy this app via Replit. Replit actually have really good deployment processes. And it's not that that's not a great feature of Replit. It's just I haven't used deployment on Replit, so I don't quite know how it works. And, you know, it's like just-in-time learning, and I already know how to deploy apps in Linode. That's what I've always done, so I'm going to stick with that. and also I pay for the node as well. So that's cool. So I'm just sticking with what I know, but you could technically deploy your app fast via Replit as well, and that would work. Okay, so with that all done, I don't need to install the Python dependencies because Docker will do that for me. So let me show you how this works. Now that I've pulled in the latest updates from GitHub, and I've edited my env file to add the 2 new API keys that I need. That's OpenAI and Hugging Face. I should now be able to go docker compose up -d. D daemonizes it, which means it doesn't fill my command terminal window with the Docker app running. It just runs in the background. It means when I close my terminal, this app will still keep running. Makes sense, right? Docker compose up -d. And then I need to add a flag --build. And if I do that, it's going to rebuild the app and install new dependencies. So very important. And if I want to, another good one is force recreate. And it just kind of starts everything from scratch. It's not going to overwrite my Postgres database with all my beta tester information because that is stored in a Docker volume that this command won't touch. So run that. And here we go. See, it's building everything with Python now. There we go. It's installing all the dependencies. So this is nice and fresh using the latest. And you see OpenAI is actually getting installed there, which is cool. So I know it's got the latest version of everything. Everything started up. That is good. Okay. Now, if I want to just check everything's okay, I can do docker logs, and we'll just put in the container name of my backend. And if I do -f, it gives me a real-time log. And look at that. Everything is running. And I'm going to go onto another screen just away from what you can see, and I'm going to log into the live app. And hopefully this is going to work. Log in with Google. Yes, it's picked up my temporary login with Google. Log in with my Google account. Log in with my Google channel. Click continue. And the moment of truth now is for me to just check on Comment Genie. Whoa, that's a lot of info going on there. It's doing sentiment analysis. The app, everything, the feature is deployed. I can go and have me lunch. How cool is that? The feature is deployed. It's working in the live app. So any beta testers that already have access to Comment Genie, you've just got a bug fix and a new feature, which I designed on this live stream. That's pretty much basically going to be exactly 2 hours long. So we did a whole lot thanks to AI on this live stream. We really delved deep into the weeds of AI no-code app creation, and I hope that you'll take something away from this. And the best thing is, as I've mentioned, do like and subscribe to the channel. I do weekly AI tool updates, so on a Friday you can always be guaranteed I'm going to update you on the latest AI tools I find for content creation or just creation in general. If you're making apps and you want no-code apps, I'm always thrilled and on the pulse of this. This is something I'm so passionate about. So do subscribe because I will be giving you a lot more, and share this channel with your friends. I'm glad, Omar, that you learnt a lot on this live stream. And that's the idea. If you like this kind of format, I'm trying something new. Obviously, I do my weekly update, but I want to do more live streams if you find them handy, because I know we can get more into the nuance. And yes, things will break. And yes, it takes longer. And, yes, it's not always going to be, smooth sailing, and there are going to be bugs and errors. But I want to show you the real side of no-code AI development. Yes, AI can get us a lot further, a lot faster, but it's not perfect yet. It's getting better. Tools like Devin and, Cursor Composer is great. Replit has an agent I've been playing with as well. That's also very good. I love the fact that Replit's agent, it's got an AI agent that not only writes the code, but installs the dependencies. So you really don't have to do anything. But again, I find it falling over from time to time. So at the moment, what I have shown you over the last nearly 2 hours is my best practice AI development thing. Oh man, you are so kind, Zevstan. Thank you for a super chat. That is incredibly cool. I absolutely love that. That is awesome. I'm actually gonna ping you out. I did not expect that at all, but just to get some amazing support like that in the form of a super chat is incredible. I'm glad that through that essentially I'm seeing that this stream is helpful for you, and I think in the future I'm definitely going to be doing more stuff like this because I would be doing it anyway. I'd just be working away here in my den anyway. So why not share it with the world from time to time? If you can benefit, that's great. If others can benefit, if you can share this out and others can benefit, that's also fantastic. And I just want to help more of the world get savvy with AI and realize the huge possibilities that are presented to us. I really believe that no longer are creating useful things and incredible technology. No longer is that restricted to people with a ton of cash or investment or VC funding. I really believe that if you have a good idea, you're not going to make it in one prompt. That's not going to happen. No matter how many people on social media and YouTube tell you, I made an app with one prompt. No, you didn't, mate. You made a website with one prompt. Yes, I believe that. Made an app with one prompt? No. And I want to show you that that's how things are. Get into the warts and all development process, and hopefully we can learn a lot on the way. Like I say, yeah, if you're liking this and you want to see more, why don't you access me? I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on X, and my handle everywhere is Mike Russell. So it's the name Mike Russell with an I in front of it. So LinkedIn, Mike Russell, or just search Mike Russell Creator Magic. I'm sure you'll find me. Find me on X. Connect with me everywhere and let me know what you'd like to see more of and what you found helpful from this stream. And we'll see if we can't do more of these. Kind of want to make this around 2 hours now. I kind of really got things going with this. So if you've got any questions in the last 5 minutes, ask me. But I'm pleased to see that my new stuff is deployed now. So I feel happy about that. So I can exit, or actually I just close the terminal window now because that's running. This is all done via cursor. Let's go over to this. I've committed everything to Git. I feel good about this. And yeah, this is all nice. This is working. This is ChatGPT where I can brainstorm away. V0 is absolutely brilliant. Actually, if we open this out and look at my chat history, it's just V0 is brilliant. Like I said, I haven't paid for this tool yet, but it's brilliant for developing beautiful looking front-end designs. So whereas Cursor will get you part of the way there with making the main sort of skeleton of the app, V0 really helps it to look beautiful. So it'll do things like, give you ideas like your cards could look like this, which I didn't quite like because it's looks like a social network. And that wasn't the look I was going for. But then when I got over here, it developed me how an app could look on a mobile responsive screen. But it also gave me a few other iterations like the dashboard. And I loved this look. So you'll see Comment Genie takes inspiration from this V0 design. Apart from it was burning my retinas. So I just said, make this design, but do it in dark mode. And it can give you things like welcome pages and things like that. So it's really neat. And I really, really like it. So there we go. Still thinking about making a YouTube channel. Your channel is the closest thing I've seen so far to what I do. The main problem is the language barrier. Well, Zevston, I think, the cool thing about that is that AI is helping us with language as well. Personally, I think just looking at the way you're responding to me in the chat, that your English is really good. So there are a few ways you can get around that. If maybe you feel like, obviously I don't know you, so I'm speaking just from my mind as to what I feel might be the barriers to you starting. Maybe you feel your English is not good enough, or that you maybe have potentially an accent that's hard to understand. I would say just get started with it. And if you find that communicating like that is difficult, start with pre-recorded videos, and you can even use AI generated voices to make things sound perfect. And I think companies like 11 Labs are changing the game for content creators, not only that speak English, that can now dub their content into other languages so they can reach a world audience, increase their funnel as well, because they've got the whole world now, not just the English-speaking world. But yeah, something like 11 Labs dubbing might be great for you if you want to speak in your native language. I'm assuming that's Serbian. You could do that. You can make a video completely in Serbian, and then you could run it through 11 Labs dubbing, and and get it dubbed into English. I think that'd be cool. And other tools like HeyGen are rolling out features where you can do AI lip sync. So not only does it dub the language, but it syncs your lips to make sure you're speaking that language. So even if you speak in Serbian, it's going to like then translate you to English and move your lips to make it look like you're speaking English. It's like crazy cool. So yeah, really big things happening with AI. I am so happy and so excited about the way this is going. And like I say, I really hope that you've taken a lot home from today's live stream. I'm going to leave you with the fact that there is Comment Genie. It's available. I'm looking for beta testers. This app is completely free while it's in beta. So if you want to be a part of something new that I'm actively developing with AI and sharing with you, go to the link that's in the description and you'll be able to fill out a form there. And as soon as I finish this live stream, I'm going to approve the beta testers and get new people in to start using this app. And I really would appreciate it, by the way, if you do decide to be a beta tester, if you would give me some feedback from time to time on what you like, what you'd like to see that's new. That's how we can build it. And if you're using YouTube and you've got a busy channel, so much the better. Can I add a feature to find? Is the comment generated from any AI or from the heart? Ooh, interesting. So what, AI detection? Do I feel the comment was AI generated? By the user, I'm guessing, not by you, the channel owner. That's a cool one. That's potentially interesting. So potentially we could do a percentage, potentially 99% AI generated comment. And then you say, go away, spammer. That's kind of cool. I work for the US studio, so my English is okay, but it's much harder than in Serbian. And I get, yeah, that it might be quite small viewership in Serbian, but just go for it. You know, I really encourage you to get things out there and keep coming back to channels like this one, and hopefully we can work together and develop more. But anyway, that's it. 2-hour live stream. Really enjoyed it. I'll catch you again in the future here on Creator Magic.